Hey there and welcome back to Sims Sunday. My name is Pete and you know the drill. In this series we try to complete The Sims 3. Now in the last episode Pauline gave birth to twins, and that means she has now given birth to 5 children. 3 of those are already teenagers and 2 still need to age up to that to complete the surrounded by family lifetime wish. Now I have decided to approach today's episode with a slightly faster pace, simply because I felt that in the last 3, 4, 5 episodes things got incredibly repetitive at times, and so today I will not talk about every single time someone goes to the fridge or takes a shower. Instead I will try to talk a bit more about those events that stand out, which will likely also allow me to get through a few more days this episode. One of those events, the ghost of Ayesha breaking the laptop here, and of course we will not risk electrocution again and have Pauline simply call the repair technician. Meanwhile, over in the garage, another money tree seed has dropped, which happens from time to time once your money trees reach a certain age, and so we will have Patrick plant that later on and grow our money tree farm to 5 trees. Now our triplets just enjoyed themselves in front of the TV. All of them have also already eaten and taken a shower, so I think they are now more than well prepared for a day at school. At home, Pauline and Reed are already engaged in a learning session with their twins Pierre and Percy, and Pauline and Percy are the first ones to succeed. Percy now knows how to walk and is therefore now the first one of the two to have learned all the essential toddler skills. A short while later though, Reed and Pierre follow suit, although Pierre also still has to learn how to talk, and I think that is exactly what we will work on next. However, since Pierre already had a learning session for talking in the last episode, it doesn't really take long for the two to succeed. In the meantime, Patrick has made it over to the grocery store, where he will once again sell the fruits and vegetables that he grew at home. The profit, roughly 40,000 simoleons, added to that are a further 25,000 from selling the money tree harvests, as well as cheese, eggs, steaks and burger patties. Back at home, it is now time for another double birthday party. Since both Pierre and Percy have learned all there is to learn as a toddler, we can safely age them up to children now. And Percy is up first, and because he learned all the essential toddler skills, we can now pick another trait for him. And to accompany good and brave I chose neat, simply because we have no sim with that trait yet, and also because I think it should fit Percy's helping nature quite well. Now let's also get that second birthday going straight away. We buy another birthday cake, and then we can age up Pierre. And the trait I've chosen for him is technophobe. Next to hating the outdoors and being an all-around grumpy person, Pierre also despises all technological things. Of course, their birthdays now also demand some slight remodeling, as the 2 cribs are now obviously no longer big enough for Pierre and Percy to sleep in. And speaking of sleeping, that is exactly what the majority of the household will do now. We start with a very tired Pauline, her uncle Patrick is also already fast asleep, and up last we have the children. Reed then finally joins Pauline a few minutes later. I quickly had to give him something to eat. And so, with everyone in bed, let's skip ahead to the next morning. Now, while everyone's sleeping, I also decided to slightly upgrade our TV corner a bit. With now 5 children who could use a bit of TV before school starts to raise their fun bars, we simply had to increase the capacity in front of the TV. And as you can see, the TV received a slight upgrade as well. Now, I hope this little home theater setup works, but we'll figure that out soon enough. And while we are in the process of building, there is also still a single lot that we own that has not yet been upgraded to level 3, so let us now do that as well. So to get started, let's place a few picnic tables, and we also need to increase the lot value a bit, which we can do with a simple statue over here. That is already enough to push the property up to level 2, but we still need a bit more, specifically a toilet and a sink and about 7,000 simoleons more in lot value. Now I decided to keep things fairly basic with a small 4x4 brick wall toilet house. Inside simply 2 toilet stalls, a sink and the mirror. That should already be enough to accommodate everyone. Now for the rest of the lot value, I decided to do something a bit more special, and I built a small stretch of land in the middle of the lake, and this will now house this lovely statue over here. A bit of terrain coloring and some fencing, and I think we're good to go. So here we are, property upgraded to level 3, and I believe that was also the last property we own that could still be upgraded. The next day then starts with a big family breakfast, although a somewhat unhealthy one, and let's test our home theater now. And yes, it seems to work just fine. Having the small children in the back might not make that much sense, but they will get the fun increase nonetheless. However, very interesting here, as a technophobe, Pierre does not actually get an increase in his fun bar from watching TV. As a matter of fact, it only results in a negative moodlet. So I suppose we have to find another way to raise his fun bar, and that might be a bit tricky because playing with the sprinklers or playing catch outside is also not really going to work, as Pierre also has the hates the outdoors trait. Alright, school's out, not much has happened in the meantime. Reed and Pauline finished a few paintings, Patrick was busy harvesting, but all in all it was a rather uneventful first half of the day. And the rest of the day will likely continue that way. Our children will do their homework. To get their fun bars back up, they will spend a bit of time in front of the TV, and whoever is hungry can grab a slice of cake from the fridge. Now we only have Pierre to take care of, because as we noticed he can't really raise his fun bar watching TV, so I will try sending him out to play with the sprinkler, and even though he will get a negative moodlet from being outside, he should still be able to get his fun bar up this way. There is one more thing I'd like to do today, and then we can strike that off the completionist checklist as well, and that is to purchase every last remaining lot in town. I'm not quite sure whether or not we have enough money for that, but with almost 700,000 simoleons in hand, we should be able to buy a good chunk of what's left. Right, these two we can't afford yet, but I'm sure we'll be able to soon, and if we have a look at the town map now, yep, pretty much all of that now belongs to us. So, with not much more happening today, let's send everyone off to bed, and then once again skip ahead to the next morning. Once again, things start off pretty busy in the kitchen, as everyone is having something to eat to prepare for the day. The children then all make their way off to school, while back at home things go about as usual. Pauline and Reed will paint, while Patrick is still busy in the garden. And so another morning has passed by without much happening, and our triplets are already back home. All three of them have made it to honor roll today, so the long-standing tradition of complete family excellence in school is still going strong. Percy and Pierre, meanwhile, have both, after just 2 days in school, made it up to A grades, and to be honest, that was really all I wanted them to achieve. So yeah, we're going fast-paced today. Let's age them up one more time. Pierre is up first, and as usual, thanks to his success in school, we can now pick one more trait for him. And I think our Mr. Grumpy will get Can't Stand Art, just to really make sure there's absolutely nothing he's a fan of. One down, one to go, let's age up Percy next. And just like with Pierre, let's also pick a trait for Percy as well. And I decided to go with friendly here, as I think it fits quite well with brave, good and neat. And just like that, all 5 of Pauline's children have now aged up from babies to teenagers, and that fulfills our second to last lifetime wish of this playthrough, surrounded by family. And now, with all 5 of our children aged up to teenagers and the lifetime wish completed, we will do something that might seem a bit unusual at first. What I plan to do now is to move Reed and the 5 children out of the household. The reasons for that are twofold. Number 1, playing 8 Sims at the same time is getting pretty hectic at the moment. And 2, we will want to add more members to the household down the line, including a very special baby. And that is simply not possible with a full household of 8 members. So we are going to move Reed and the 5 children out, and we sadly also have to tick the box in front of kick out, as even though we're moving 6 members out of the household, they won't get a penny from us, which means we cannot afford to buy them a house or a lot. Kicking them out will randomly assign them a suitable house, and that is exactly what we're going to do. So we say goodbye to Reed, Pablo, Pedro, Patricia, Pierre and Percy. Maybe they will make another appearance down the line. For now, however, their stuff will be transferred to Patrick's inventory, and they will leave us for the moment. By the way, this right here is the house they're now moving into, which is not too bad of a home if you ask me. So, from 8 household members down to only 2, but those 2 were wisely chosen, as we still need Pauline to complete the last remaining career and the last remaining lifetime wish, and we also need Patrick for his cooking skills, which allow him to prepare ambrosia. And what we're going to do with that, well, you can already start thinking about that. We'll figure it out in the next episode. For today, we can send both Pauline and her Uncle Patrick off to bed. They will have an interesting day coming up next time. Feel free to already leave your comments down below speculating what we might do in the next episode. And as always, if you like this episode, then leave a thumbs up. And if you want to support the channel and stay up to date, then click on subscribe. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next time. Cheers!